Good morning from the central line. I'm currently sat on a blue Barman moquette seat. That is that tube seat pattern which you may be very familiar with, and it's been designed by Wallace-Jones. They've done 6 designs overall for TfL, including the Elizabeth line. I'm wearing those socks right now as well, and I'm on my way to interview them this morning to find out about how this all came about, how they did this, and what else they do. This is a great interview with the people that designed tube moquettes.
So Wallace & Saul have been working as a partnership for over 30 years creating and designing. They're known for their use of colour, structure and yarn in geometric formats. They have a shop and studio in London with a team of staff where they sell their products, but from a transport point of view, you'll know them best as the people who designed some of TfL's moquettes. They've done 6 in total. The Central Line Barman, that's blue in colour, the brown variation on the Bakerloo line, the orange Overground, the green trams, TfL Rail, and most recently, the purple Elizabeth line moquette are all their designs. And I caught up with them for a chat to find out how this all came about. I'm trying to think how to start it. I'm trying to think whether to get to hello, I am, we are, but I don't know who to go.
Well, we could say hi, Geoff. Hi, Geoff. Who are you?
Okay. I might even use this bit. This is now the intro of our very serious...
Well, hello, Geoff.
We met first at Central St Martin's back in '85, where we studied textile design. And then after that, we both went and did a postgrad at the RCA, Royal College of Art, and left there in 1990. And then for 2 years, we were doing various projects and things like this. And then in '92, we thought, hey, let's launch a collection of scarves. And so that's when we came up with the name Wallace-Sewell.
I mean, actually, probably the majority of people know us more for our blankets, scarves and throws. So the TfL is very much just a collaboration, a fantastic collaboration that we did starting in 2007.
We were put forward with 4 other companies to suggest designs for the Overground. A lady who was doing a bit of PR for us at the time knew someone who was working on the project at TfL and said, I think you should look at this company, they're very small. You won't have heard of them, but I think, you know, their sort of designing might suit TfL. So they put us forward.
So I think on the back of winning the competition, I think we'd always subconsciously, hadn't we? We talked about, said, gosh, I could see these as fabrics for trains or buses.
You used to design a chenille throw collection, which was very much... What that is? So this is an old design from that range that we stopped doing decades ago now, but it was all very much lots of little rectangles and very sort of evocative of the, you know, 1970s Misha Black, Jacqueline Grove design.
They commissioned us to
design the tram design.
Wimbledon to Croydon tram link. And we always did it very much where we would be very analogue. So we would be actually doing just literally drawings, crayons, whatever. And then from
working them up into
Illustrator. And then, and one I did earlier. And then that would be the simulation working with the company who wove them, Chimera.
Yeah.
So then, after the tram, quite rightly, you know, we had this lovely relationship with TfL, and they said, well, we've got to put it out there for not just you, and they had the tram, the moquette for London competition
for the Underground,
and we were allowed to enter. So it was blind. I mean, I think there was 300 people applied.
I think 300 entries, and we could each put in 2 designs. It started off sort of iconic buildings from London and then working those up into a pattern. So this is a sort of an early stage of and then it's like, well, you're not allowed to have a roundel in the design. Okay, so take that out. And then this is, I think, a later one, you know, working it up very, very simple and then sort of drawing back into it to think, okay, how can I make St Paul's a bit more St Paul's? And then it just came, you know, evolved from that. So this is a development from TfL. Do you want to pass the cushion over here?
That one.
Oh, no, the other one. So you can see that it's got the same kinds of rectangles and the same little stripes of colour running across. And here, for these 2, we actually broke the golden rule of we use more than 4 colours. If you look at the these designs, there's only ever 4 colours in the design, which comes to the constraint of the weaving process.
This is complicated, but hopefully not. In weaving, particularly this sort of weaving, it's basically velvet weaving. So you've got layers. With the moquette fabric, it is a velvet. So each of these, I don't know if you can see that on camera, each of those layers, when we were doing, this is doing the tram, that is a warp coming back from the back of the loom, coming through.
And it can come up and over to make the actual velvet pile that you can feel.
What happened with the Liz line and the interim is that they still had those warps, but within each warp we could throw in, or we threw in little stripes of colours. This has been a sort of journey, I think, you'd say. I mean, I think
I guess in a way, TfL is a blank canvas. We're given a colour palette often, or main colour to work in, and then we work with the constraints of the loom.
But I mean, I think you would say, other than the Barman, that there's definitely a story. So they're all, you know, all of these are all very, very much us. And they're very much sort of our way of thinking and working, and rectilinear, playing with, you know, sort of proportions of stripe and block. Yeah. Barman went out of that sort of remit in a sense. So it is very much a story, and you're working from, you're not starting really with a blank canvas. You're starting with a sort of building up sort of layers from things we've done before.
Yes, I guess so. But then when we design our own collections, so our scarves and blankets, we'll always then reference art. So either an artist, at the minute we've got a little exhibition of chap Fred Ingram's, who we use for this year's scarf collection as inspiration, or it might be historic artists, so, you know, a Renaissance painter or something like this. And so therefore we're then trying to capture different colours and proportions and textures in a very, very abstract way, because generally we can only, with our own work, weave checks and stripes and tiny little patterns. That's all we can do.
What has been really exciting is, so with our own designs over the years, we can be extremely indulgent. We can use a lot of colours, but the transport, you know, the fabrics for the moquette, when we started out and we could only use 4 colours, for us that was incredibly exciting.
Working within a tight parameter is actually very stimulating, very exciting, because you're sort of pushing, and you're really having to think hard and think about how you can make, you know, it look like more than 4 colours.
So that's a red, and there's the red in there, and that's just because it's pixelated, and it's so. And again, I was talking to you earlier about the fact that with here, the idea that the red there is the same red there, but it's what you put it next to it. It's all about proportion, and that's Emma's and my sort of, that's our nerdiness. That's our sort of
colour theory. Is very much our nerdiness.
Because in our own designs, we are interlacing colour, so you get your third colour just by that crossing the other one. Whereas this is just all about. This is very much like pointillism in painting.
We'd always be excited to work on another moquette. Maybe it's not for London. Maybe it's for another country or for another city.
Yeah.
Why haven't you branched out?
Probably, and this is totally honest, because we're doing all our other stuff, and so therefore that's sort of what we're more preoccupied with.
Yes.
And so it's not necessarily. It's not a definite goal that's like we want to do a trial. But if one came along, fantastic.
And maybe one day we'll get together and be proactive and send out a little package to various cities and say, hey.
Like the Glasgow suburb recently had new trains. If the SBT had come to you and gone, you'd have been all over that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we've got a lovely relationship with Chimera, who do the fabrics. So
maybe something will come from that.
Yeah.
All right. Wallace and Sewell, thanks.
Thank you, Geoff.
So my thanks to Wallace and Sewell. Next time you're sat in a Barman seat or any other one of the 5 designs which they did on the TfL network, you'll know a little bit more about the history behind them. Have a click on the link in the description to find out more. Thanks for watching. Press subscribe. See you soon.